Okay, hello. Welcome to the 2017 New England Backgammon Club Championship Finals. It's going to be Albert Steg versus Marty Storer. My name's Matt Ricklitis. I'm going to be doing some commentary. And just to give you an idea what's going on here, here is the final standings of the points race. The way this works is the club runs monthly tournaments. The season started back in September of 2016. Each month, players are awarded points based on their performance. Those points accumulate throughout the season. The top 7-point earners qualify for the championship playoffs. You can see Albert qualified in the number 4 position, and Marty, interestingly, needed to win enough points during last month's tournament, the May tournament, just to move up into the number 7 spot. Just barely edging out Ed Ahola by 4 points to make the cut. So it was a competitive points race. I can also show you the bracket. Here's the bracket. So the top seed gets a first round bye. The first 2 rounds were best of 3 9-point matches. This upcoming final round is going to be the best of 5 9-point matches. So Marty defeated Rich Sweetman in the semis to get here, and Albert defeated the top seed and current club champion Alex Zamanian to make the finals. So Alex will be surrendering his crown to one of these guys today. Both Albert and Marty have been here before. Albert was crowned club champion in 2015, and Marty was crowned champion as recently as 2013. So these are both very good, very experienced players. They're pretty familiar with each other's game. I think we can look for a pretty good battle. So I think they're getting ready to start. So let's hope for a good match. Okay, so 6-1. Albert wins the opening roll. He makes his bar point. Marty responds with a 6-5, so his back checkers are blocked. He's going to bring 2 down, slotting his bar. Double 5s for Albert. He's going to make his 3-point. Marty gets a 3-2. That's going to make his 5 points. So both players have 2-point boards. 4-2 for Albert. He's going to make his 4 points. So both players focusing on their primes and building up their boards. Neither has been able to move their back checkers yet. Oh, but now Marty gets a 1-6. He's able to leap and hit at the same time. A great roll for Marty. Double 4s for Albert. He's going to come in with the first one, and then he's going to have to think about how to play the remainders. He can make his 2-point, but then he kind of doesn't know what to do with the last one. He can hit loose, maybe. That would be the action play. He does have a stronger board and more men back, so maybe he wants to make an action play. That's what he's doing. He's hitting loose. So he's putting Marty up on a bar. 3-2 for Marty. He's able to come in, but he's not going to be able to do much damage here. He's going to have to determine if he wants to get his stragglers closer to home, or maybe he wants to keep them connected. He can create a new builder by playing 8-5. I think those are the 2 main candidates. He can also come up if he wants to try and escape, although the 5-point is a place where Albert would be happy to attack. So Marty does have to think a little about this. I'm guessing he's going to play 8-5. He can leave his blot where it is. It stays connected with his rear checker. He's kind of duping the 5s a little bit because Albert needs 5s to hit and to cover. So that is the play Marty's looking at now. Marty has made that play, and now double 3s for Albert. So it's a decent roll. It does not hit, but it is a pretty good roll. He's going to be able to make his anchor. He's advancing out to the 18th point, so coming down with the last one. Okay. So 3-1 for Marty. This does not hit. This does not really do too much. Actually, he could hit loose if he wants. It would cost him his builder, but yeah, Marty's just going to play safe. He's going to play with one man back. So Albert's got a better board, but he's got more back, and Marty's trying to get into a race. Albert has conceded his midpoints. He still has some outfield control with his 18-point, but for the most part, if Marty gets into the outfield, it's a pretty safe place to be. A 4-3 now for Albert. His back man is stuck, so he has to figure out what he wants to do. He would like to be able to attack, but he's got that blot on the ace point, so attacking is going to leave two men back. I'm sorry, 4-3. He can advance his back checker. I'm sorry. So, yeah, if he comes up with the 3, then he does have a safe 4. This is also safe. Creates a new attacker. And it keeps some coverage of the Marty's inner board. Okay, 2-1. So Marty's going to make the 4-point. Now I think it's a 3-1. 3-1 for Albert. So I think he's stuck kind of going on the attack now. He's going to have to hit loose on the 2-point. I think the safe play would be to break his bar. I'm not sure how bad the race is actually. He may want to consider the race here. He's down. Yeah, I think Albert's counting the race, and he's deciding the race is close. He's going to make a safe play. Okay, the race must be close. Double 5s for Marty, so he's going to, if the race was close, this is going to reestablish a race lead for Marty. His back checker is still stuck. This is a nice roll for Marty. It makes, if Albert doesn't roll a 5, Marty's going to have the choices. He's going to be able to attack or maybe run with the straggler. It's not easy for Albert to get out of there. I believe it's a double 2. Double 2. Albert can make a 5-point board of his own. The downside is he's not going to be able to attack. If he covers the ace, he's not going to be able to attack. If he does attack, he's got those 2 dilly builders kind of on the 3-point. Only one of them can go to the ace. And it's only a 4-point board. He is concerned about getting attacked. But I think making the 5-point board is the best he's going to be able to do. He's got to hope for developments. It's not completely safe for Marty to attack there with Albert having a 5-point board, because Albert can hit back. And okay, so Albert did make the safe play. Builds a 5-point board. Double 4s for Marty is crushing. This points makes a 5-point board. Puts Albert up on the roof, and he fans, and now Marty has to decide if this is too good. He can cash if he wanted to, but perhaps he's thinking now it's too good. He's got 5s and 6s to leap out. Even if he doesn't leap out, Albert's facing a 5-point board, and doesn't look very risky. It seems pretty hard for Albert. Only a lot of Albert's entering aces are going to be bad. Like ace 5 and ace 4 are not particularly good rolls for Albert. So it seems like Marty does have enough to play on here, but he's thinking about it. If the race were closer, it would be a concern, because then Albert can come in and then maybe get into a race. But even there, Albert's behind a 5' and a pretty perfect board. So 5-4. Marty is running out. This is completely safe. He can take a little bit of risk by kind of getting some builders, but he doesn't need to an ace 6, and Albert's just going to come in. And now I think Marty's just going to cash. He has a few numbers that leave fly shots. He doesn't really need to do that. He's not going to win a gammon very often. So yeah, he's turning the cube, and Albert's actually counting the race. Don't think the race is that good for him. Marty rolled double 5s and double 4s. So let's see. Maybe 14 pips, I'm counting. Well, Albert's taking. So 14 pips, and Marty's got that straggler, which doesn't always clear. Oh, but double fives is wonderful. It clears the straggler and a point. So Marty just has one more point to clear, and he's got a pretty comfortable lead in this race now, 4-3. Albert scoots around the corner. He's hoping for a 6-1. No. Marty clears the point, so Marty's going to start bearing off, and Albert's going to need a bunch of sets. Mostly he just has to avoid a freak gammon, although really that's not likely either. Almost always this game's just going to end in a single game win for Marty. Albert can't scare him if he rolls a set. It's going to have to be a pretty big set. He's going to need 5s or 6s. Time is running out. Marty's now got 5 checkers off. 5-2, so Albert gets a checker off, but Marty's up. Double 6s pretty much is going to end all hope. 4-1, they'll play it out, but this is going to be 2 points for Marty. Okay, so a 2-0 lead for Marty, and in case you're just joining us, this is the Club Championship Finals. The winner is going to be crowned the club champion for the 2016-2017 season of the New England Backgammon Club. The format is best of 5 9-point matches. This is the first match. 6-4 for Marty. He's going to split. Oh, and a great roll for Albert, double 6s. So he hits and makes both bar points. Great roll for Albert. 5-2 for Marty. So he comes in and safeties his block, building up his 4-point, and 6-5 now for Albert. What will he do with the 6-5? Marty does have the inner board block. Albert pretty up in the race here. He can actually consider about making a run for it. If he makes either the ace point or the 2-point, he'll be leaving a block behind. Oh, but he makes the ace, so Marty can hit with 5s. Some of his 5s. Oh, but 3-6 does not hit. Albert's on roll. Oh, double aces is pretty good. So if he wants to make the 4 prime, he's going to have to leave a blot somewhere. Maybe he's just going to go quietly because he's got the nice race lead. He's got the better board. He's getting close to a cube here. If 4-1, Marty cannot safety a straggler. He's going to have to leave a blot somewhere. Maybe he's just going to secure the 4-point. Yeah, he does. He's looking at making his 4-point, making a 2-point board. He scooches forward with his straggler, and Albert's 3s are slightly duped. He needs a 3 to hit in the outfield and also a 3 to hit in the infield, but he is still thinking about the cube because he's got a 3-point board, he's got a nice race lead, and he's got some shots. If he hits in Marty fans, that is a pretty big market loss. Even he's got some racing numbers like double 4s is going to race and hit. Double 2s is even a pretty good number. It just lets him get into a race where I think he's got a pretty big race lead. He is counting the race. Let me see if I can get a sense of the race here. Maybe about somewhere maybe 13 pips. It was a quick guess. So 13 pips he was up, and now double 3s, which hits twice. The 3s were duped. He rolled double 3s, so but Marty responds with double 3s of his own, and now Marty's back in the game. He's got an anchor. Albert has a 4-point board, but 4 of his checkers are behind Marty's anchor, so Albert's pretty stripped, so Marty's definitely back in this game with maybe a little bit of a timing advantage, actually. He's thinking about how to play the last 2 3s. He can make another innerboard point, or he can increase the contact on Albert's rear checkers. He makes the innerboard point. He's 4-3 now for Albert. so he doesn't really have a safe play. Um, his straggler is 7 away from Marty's anchor, so he's going to have to leave blots somewhere. This leaves only aces and some nines. So, but the 2 blots, he also could have considered bringing 2 down. Anyway, 5-2 now from Marty. And it's a 7, but it doesn't hit. So Marty's just going to bide his time and wait for development. I do think Marty has a little bit of a timing advantage here. Albert makes the bar, now 6-1 for Marty, and again, he's just biding his time. He's stacking up his checkers, and now, Marty is now also stripped in the outfield, so this is becoming a who's going to blink first kind of position. 2-1 for Albert. He's going to make some sort of safe play, either breaking his bar point or his 8 point. He's choosing to break his bar point, so this is keeping some contact on Marty's rear checkers. 4-2. Marty's just going to play inside, so he slots the deuce and adds a builder to the 4 point. Now 5-1, and if Albert wants to play safe, he's going to have to dump a checker to the ace, but the alternatives don't really look that good. He doesn't want to have to break that 8 point. That 8 point is kind of acting as, if he wants to, eventually Albert's going to need to run off his 18 point, and, if something goes wrong, if he gets hit back, that 8 point's going to kind of help contain Marty's rear checkers and keep contact. So he wants to keep that 8 point. It's also a landing spot. If he rolls a number like 6-4, it would be a landing spot for Albert. So I do think playing safe here is going to be the right idea. Now, if he plays the 5, 6-1, now he has to consider what to do with the ace, because to keep his board, he's going to have to kind of position his spare in an odd spot on the 5 point, but it's not too bad. So, it takes away a 5, but again, Marty's stripped in the outfield too, so both players have problems here with double twos is great. This is going to allow Albert to advance without leaving a blot. And so, Albert's looking to get into a race, although his position has suffered some blemishes now. He has gaps on his 4 point and his bar point. He still has to clear his outside point. So even though Albert's up in the race, I don't think he has a cube just yet. He's just too stripped. There's just too many bad rolls. Even if he clears that 14 point, Marty's still got enough contact on the 3 point and decent enough timing to take this game. So I don't think Albert has a cube yet until he clears that 14 point. So now let's see. Marty's considering how to play double aces. If the race is at all reasonable, he may consider stepping up, although he's got really good contact, I think, from that 22 point. That gap on the 4 point is going to be very hard for Albert to fill. If Marty steps up into it, he's basically relieving a bunch of pressure on Albert's remaining points that he needs to clear. So I do think Marty's going to stay back and maybe make a play. Like maybe he'll start his 5 point with 3 of the aces and then slot the bar, so he'll have covers for both the bar. I'm sorry, for both the ace and the 5. But they're counting the race. I always, when I'm talking, it's hard to count the race while I'm talking. So a lot of times I'm not sure what the race is. I am not sure what the race is here. I can try to pause for a little bit and figure it out. I do think Albert's up though. Albert could be up maybe 20 pips here. Well, they're counting. Maybe I'll take a break and try to count. I don't know. It's like 20-some pips. Okay, so 4-3 for Albert, and He tries to clear his 14 point. He's leaving a bunch of fly shots, but Marty does not roll a number that hits. So 6-5. Marty's going to build up his board. He's got a 5-point board now, and Marty caught up a little bit in the race. Albert can think about cubing here. I just think that I do think this is still a take. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's a cube yet because it's just really hard for Albert to make that 4-point. And with that 4-point gap, along with the 7-point gap, Marty gets a lot of contact from his anchor, and Albert's likely to leave a fly shot. So the combination of those things, I think, makes a pretty easy take. 2-1, and if he wants, Albert can safety up and make the 9-point, but he's going to be creating a point that he needs to clear. So, yeah, maybe a better idea is something like this, where he just plays with one blot in the outfield. He has a nice, buys himself a spare, it's a flexible spare. The main downside is the 4 shots. Marty would hit with a 4-3 and a 6-1. But I do think it is right. He's got to take some risk to bring this position home. This is not an easy position to bring home with those gaps, and you can see he doesn't have playable 5s really. If he doesn't, that he's got a nice 5. If he leaves that spare on the okay, so he does play with one blot. Double 3s now for Marty, and Marty completes his board. He's ready for. He's ready. He's ready to contain 6-3. So I think Albert's just going to play safe. Yeah, he does. He dumps the checker to the ace point. Safe. Albert's well ahead in this race. He just needs to come home safely. But those gaps does not make it easy. 5-1 for Marty, and he has to choose between keeping his board or kind of exposing himself in the back. I think I would keep the board. 5-point board is still good enough to win this game if he were to hit a shot. But the problem is it might break down further. He's not guaranteed to get out. He's going to be running out anyway, most likely in the next roll or two. May as well leave now. Albert's not really threatening that much. So let's see, if Albert rolls a number like, say, 5-1, Marty would much prefer to be back on that anchor. It would be, he can make some of Albert's 5s play really awkwardly. But I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure that it's only a small gain on numbers like that. That the real problem is that Marty's losing. He can't. When you're losing, you can't always have good numbers. That's why you're losing. So Marty's got to make a concession somewhere. I think the concession he wants to make is his anchor. He wants to keep that board. That the powerful board is. It's just so much more dangerous for Albert. Double 6 is going to leave a shot. So Marty gets a shot, and Albert gets a checker off, but this is not a good roll for Albert. A shot, this is a game-winning shot. If Marty can hit it, and he does, he rolls a 3, he hits the shot. So double 3s, and it doesn't really matter how he plays. As long as he hits the checker, it doesn't matter where he puts the rest of them because he just has a cash. Albert's already born a checker off, so there's no gammons. There's no need to keep playing on. He's just hitting cash, and that was a pretty big roll for Marty, a pretty big swing there, because now instead of maybe being a tied game, it's now a 4-0 lead. So Marty jumps out to a pretty comfortable lead here. Now Marty opens with a 6-1 and makes his bar. 6-5 for Albert. Then this is a replay of the earlier game, so earlier sequences started similarly. Let's see what Marty rolls. 6-5 for Marty. He's going to hit and escape. Now 3-1 for Albert, and he might want to slot the 5-point here. Actually, he's advancing to the 21. He might want to slide the 5-point. He's got 3 men back. He's really got to start building his board. He's not too concerned about being hit. I would have slotted the 5-point. I like to make plays like that, but okay, this play is also fine. So 4-1, Marty brings a new builder in. 13-8, 5-3. So Albert slotted the 21-point, pays off. He's able to get an anchor there with the 3, and now he has to consider how to play the 5. Safe play is 13-8, but it's going to cost him the last spare on his midpoint, and he might want to stay flexible. His 6s will be kind of awkward if he he can maybe anyway. He's got a 5 to play here, and 6-1 does not look right in this position, though. A lot of times you make a loose hit because you want to take away half your roll, but Marty really isn't threatening that much, so taking away half the roll isn't that valuable here, and so maybe he wants to find a different 5, because Albert's. Oh, we missed something there, so it looks like Albert did hit with the 5, and then Marty hit him back, and now it's 4-5 for Marty. He comes in with the 4 and down with the 5. So Albert has established a kind of two. He can maybe turn this into a back game, but the timing isn't really there just yet. So Albert's got options. He can try to move forward. He can try to move back, depending on how on what numbers come up with the die. So he's got a 6-3. He's to play now. He's slotting with the 6 and making this 3-point. So he's building up his board. He's keeping his options open. If he gets hit, he goes backwards. If Marty rolls something awkward, he can still go forward. 4-5 for Marty. So Marty can make an interboard point, and he does. He makes his 3-point. And now a 5-3 for Albert. 5-3 for Albert, and it's decision time. Is he going to try to go forward or backward? He's going to try to play a holding game if he runs out here. This is if he runs with the 5-3. This is so Albert's looking to play a holding game. Marty's got 3s and 4s to hit, but this is nowhere near a cube. 3-5. Marty can actually hit twice if he wants to. Or he can just play safe, or he can bring down a builder. So he's got a bunch of options. Albert's only got a 2-point board. So maybe Marty wants to take a little bit of a chance here. And, that checker on the 24-point, Albert's checker there, Marty would like to remove that checker. He would like, that checker's kind of guarding Marty's inner board. So Marty would like to maybe if he's going to hit with the 3, maybe he hits the second one. It keeps Albert from anchoring there. Maybe Albert has to enter high. Marty can start an attack. It's not necessarily an easy play because Marty's looking at running without hitting. That's very interesting. So the idea with running without hitting is that it by not sending the 4th checker back, it's kind of preventing Albert from creating a sort of back game, because Albert could have rolled like a 2-1 or a 2-1 or a 5-4. He could have created a second anchor in the back, and Marty's owns his bar point. So as far as the holding game goes, when you're playing a holding game and you have your bar point, it's kind of easier to clear your midpoint. So Marty can kind of creep in on a cube here, and I think that's what he was thinking is like. He can play kind of this comfortable holding game where he's a pretty good favorite, and actually because of the score, Marty can get some reasonably decent cubes in a game like this because one of the things that happens when you're ahead in the score is you can't really turn the cube a lot of times because of the contact, the gammon chances. But in a position like this, by the time Marty's ready to double, he's not going to have. He's not going to be risking too many gammons, so it just becomes, when there's not gammons involved, a lot of times the cube just works out to be pretty much close for money. There's not a big adjustment because of the gammons. Marty is 5 away, so Albert does have a little bit of a deeper take point than he would at a normal match score, but but still, anyway, that's what I think Marty was thinking when he made that play without hitting. That was a honestly, I did not see that play. I would have maybe hit twice, or I've definitely hit and tried to, you know, improve my racing lead. But Marty saw a different way. I kind of like his play, actually. I would not have, it's kind of a cool play. Anyway, back to the game. Marty has been playing safe, but he's now stripped down. His outward points are stripped down. Albert's hanging on with his anchor. He's playing a nice holding game. He's made the best 4-point board. He's got the ace point slotted. And now I'm not sure if we're experiencing a bit of a delay, or if one of the players is thinking about cubing. If the cube would be it would be Marty who's thinking about cubing, and I can't imagine he would cube this. It's a little too early, so I'm guessing we have a connection problem. Yeah, we have a connection problem. Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. There is a connection problem. And we're back. We're back. So I guess there was not a connection problem. I guess Marty was counting the race. He was considering a cube there because he just rolled a 6-1. He decided not to double. I don't think he wanted to double yet, although I just went into the whole diatribe about how his gammon chances aren't very high, and he can just kind of double a little bit similarly as you would in a normal match game, but I do agree with his decision weight. Albert does have a little bit of a deeper take point, so if he's not at all sure about whether it's a QB, it is probably correct to wait. 6-1 is not that great of a number because he's going, Marty would have liked to have been able to clear his midpoint with one of the sixes, but he's not going to be able to do that with a 6-1 because it would leave a direct shot, so he's going to have to give up either his bar point or his 8-point. Even though it looks a little bit awkward, I think he's going to give up his 8-point here because he wants to keep his sixes in play. He wants to be able to clear that midpoint with sixes. If he breaks his bar point, some of his sixes are going to leave direct shots or force him to clear his 8-point. And then if he's forced to clear his 8-point, then those checkers really are a little bit tougher to bring home. So the bar point, I think, is kind of important to keep here. I think he's going to clear the 8. He can also considering volunteering the shot. The thing about volunteering the shot is he would, have a cube if he's missed. It would be a pretty good cube. Oh, but double ones hits. It hits and covers. Marty was getting close to a cube anyway. I'm not sure he needed to take the risk of leaving the shot, but he did anyway. He's not dead yet. If he can come in right away, he can still fight. But Albert's got a pretty good position here. I think if he fans, Albert's going to be able to cube. I'm guessing maybe I've missed a roll. I'm guessing maybe Marty has already fanned, and Albert's considering the cube. Is what I think is going on. Albert's counting the race, but the thing with the score here is if Albert gives a 2 cube, it's Marty's not going to be that able to take advantage of using that cube. Marty's not going to be wanting to turn that cube to 4, so that argues for Albert turning the cube a little bit early. There are some gammons here. It's kind of a remote possibility at this point. But if Albert is able to close Marty out, Marty would still have 9 crossovers to save the gammon if he was closed out from the bar. And so Albert would have some gammon chances. Actually, not sure what Marty's going to do here. Marty needs to come in quickly and still leap a sort of a minefield in the outfield. Albert has complete outfield from control. Yeah, so Marty passes. Does look pretty tough. When you're facing a 5-point board from the bar, it is, a lot of times you just get stuck up there for a long time. And, Marty did not really have too much contact on Albert's remaining stragglers. So anyway, 4-1 now. Albert scores a point, so he's on the board now, 4-1. So 3-2 for Marty to open. He splits, and now a 5-3 for Albert. He makes his 3-point, 5-2. 5-2 for Marty. He's going to partially escape one of his backmen and make an asset on his 11-point. But 4-1 is going to hit, so Albert hits and splits. Good development, I think, for Albert. 3-1 for Marty, and what's he going to do? He can split. He can fight for sort of an advanced anchor, or he can bring a builder down. The builder would strip his midpoint, so maybe he doesn't want to do that. Fighting for the advanced anchor seems right. Marty's got a race lead. He would really like to have an advanced anchor. Advanced anchors cut down a lot on the gammon. So if Marty can make an advanced anchor, it's a comfortable thing where he cuts down on gammons. 6-5 does not make the anchor, but it's still a good roll because it lets him escape, and so Marty can just play with one man back. But Albert's got a bunch of fly shots. Well, he doesn't hit a fly shot, but he does roll a decent number. 6-5 makes Marty's 18-point. So Albert's got kind of a holding position, or if he rolls a big set, he can maybe turn this into a race. The race looks pretty even right now. 2-1 is not a great number for Marty, but it's playable. He can, I think he can either make his 10-point, or he can make a more flexible play. He makes his 10-point. He does make his 10-point, so seems fine. 4-1. Albert can play safe, or he can make a more aggressive slot. It's really kind of dependent on the race. If the race is close, he doesn't really need to take chances. I do think the race is close, so I do kind of agree with this play, but the slot could have been correct. I'm not sure. Anyway, 4-2. Marty makes a inner board point, and now 2-1 for Albert, and he's going to have to leave something, or he can play safely if he wants, 6-3. But maybe now is a good time to invest a little bit in his board. He can make the 5-point with this 2-1. It does leave a shot, but Marty's it's not a decisive shot. That 5-point is a lot of pressure. I would make the 5-point here. I would not want to misplace my builders. The 3-point is not a good spot for a builder. And so Albert does. He sees that. He makes the board. He leaves a 6 shot, but Marty does not hit it. But Marty rolls a double 2, so he will be able to make a safe play. But you can see the strength of the play that Albert just made. He's got a nice position now. He can attack. He can make a broken 5'. Marty's running out of time on his own in the outfield. He doesn't really have a lot of spare checkers to play with. Does Albert have a cube? I'm not sure if Albert has a cube yet. The score might argue a little bit for the cube, but it's looks like a pretty comfortable take because Albert still has to deal with clearing his checkers, and Marty only has one man back, and it's not really in a Marty's checker on the 24-point is not in a spot where Albert really wants to be able to attack it. Albert's got 11 checkers in the zone, so he can kind of execute a blitz from here if he wanted. But Marty's got a board of his own. In fact, Marty might be thinking about, he still has to play these double 2s. One play Marty can make is the 2-point. He can try to strengthen his board. If Marty sees a storm coming with a kind of a blitz, one of the defenses could be to, kind of keep a blockade. He's kind of keeping as many points blocked on Albert's rear checkers and building up a board of his own. So if Albert does try to attack and there's an accident, Marty's got a board to back him up. Marty has picked up the dice, so Albert's on roll, and Albert is thinking about the cube. He's got 11 in his own. He can go on an attack. I do think this is a little early. It just seems a little bit early that Marty's checker is not really that being threatened that much. It would take a pretty good sequence So Albert does hold off. He rolls a 4-1, and so okay, so he can make the bar, but now he's going to bring a builder, and Marty gets a direct shot. So pretty good roll for Albert, but still, 3-4. Oh, for a second I thought that was hit, but Marty needed an 8 to hit. Oh, man. For a second I thought Marty hit. He does not hit. So 3-4 is a little bit awkward. And now, having made the bar point, now I think Albert's got a little bit of his position. That was a good sequence for Albert. He made his bar, and he did not get hit. And Marty had to give up one of his blocking points, and Marty stripped. So now I think Albert does have a cube. Now Marty's got some awkward rolls and another checker in the zone. So now this is a much tougher decision, actually. Not hitting that shot was a pretty big deal. That was Marty's main hope, was to hit that shot, and then it would have been a pretty even game. But he did not hit the shot, and Albert made his bar. Marty rolled pretty poorly. This is a tough decision. I think I would let this go. So even though I was arguing that it was not a double last roll, I do think that this was a pretty good sequence for Albert. And now that Marty hasn't decided yet. He's counting the race. Albert does have those two checkers. Marty has contact on Albert's checkers. Albert has to clear that 18 points. Thing is, Albert has 3 active builders for making that 4-point, and if he doesn't make that 4-point, he's going to bring in most likely a 4th builder. So Marty's going to have to he's going to have to get out of there quickly. And if he doesn't get out, Marty's got some really awkward rolls with his strip position. He could leave another blot, and he could get gammon. So there is some gammon risk here if things go wrongly. And even if Marty does successfully escape, he's got to come home. I would let this go. Especially with the score, I would not want to take a cube that can turn into this. This could turn into a gammonous position. I'm going to try and count the race. And Marty lets it go. Okay, so another point for Albert. He's clawing his way back into this match. Marty had gotten out quickly to a 4-0 lead. He won the first 2 games were both 2 cubes. Marty won them both. Took a 4-0 lead, and now the last 2 games, Albert cashed. So 4-2 lead for Marty. 6-5. Albert runs, and then 5-1 for Marty. Marty splits. So I think for money, or at a normal match score, Marty might have slotted. A lot of times when your opponent runs with a 6-5, you make a slot with an ace. So 5-1, you would have slotted, but because of the score, maybe Marty decided he's gonna split and kind of aim for an advance. Splitting aims for making an advance anchor. That's actually what happened. Marty's able to make an advance anchor on his next roll, but Albert's building up his board. Marty doesn't have any other development, really. 5-2, and Marty's trying to decide between bringing in another builder, maybe to try and make his bar or 5-point, but it does strip the mid, so maybe he wants to play 6 here, because if he comes down with the 2, yeah, it's a builder for the bar point, and it's also a builder for the bar. But 6-5, Albert leaps. So let's see, Albert's up 16 before the roll. So Albert's only up 8 pips, I believe. So not really a double yet. Albert is winning, but only by a little bit. Marty's got a decent holding game here. Only an 8-pip lead. Marty can actually win the race. And the contact, I think, goes this way. But Albert's counting just to be sure. Maybe I should count again just to be sure. I do think it was correct. I do think it was 8 pips. So Albert rolls 7. So now Albert's up 15. So both players are just going to kind of, those 6-2, I was going to say, both players are just going to play safe and build up their boards because both are in the race. The race is still reasonably close. But Albert was forced to, in order to play safe, he had to clear his 8 points. So now Marty's got great contact on Albert's midpoint, although Albert still has 2 spares there. Albert's got a bunch of rolls to roll a set and maybe clear that midpoint safely. 6-4 for Marty. He can make the deuce point, but that's a deep point. You know, and when you're in a race, you don't want to make deep points because they don't bear off efficiently. You want to kind of keep your checkers up high on the 4, 5, and 6 point. And so in the sequences where this turns into the race, making the 2 point hurts Marty a little bit. So that would be the argument for bringing 2 down. And also, if Marty rolls an ace next time, he's going to have to like play even more awkwardly. So he can kind of remove those problems by clearing the mid. On the other hand, Marty might want to keep those checkers there just to keep pressure on Albert's midpoint. Although Albert does have the 2 spares, it's going to be a few rolls, I think, before that pressure would come into play. So maybe Marty just wants to clear now. Yeah, Marty's clearing now. He's still got great contact on the mid. I do agree with his play. This aims the checkers where they want to go, which is the 4, 5, and 6 point. Marty would actually like to cover that blot in case he does get a shot, although there aren't any numbers that leave a shot right away. In fact, Albert's thinking about cubing. He is cubing. This is an easy take, but you know, Albert's got a few shakes to roll a set, and he loses his market with the set. So there were market losers there. That's what Albert was thinking when he cubed. Albert is up in the race, but Marty is not out of the race. I think it was a pretty easy take. Okay, 3-2. So Albert is going to keep playing safe. So he slots the ace and puts a spare on the deuce. Now Marty makes the 4 point, which is good both for racing and building. Look at the structure Marty's got on his side of the board, and so this is one of the issues with Albert's position is that when he, as he's trying to clear his mid, he has to play safe and play flexibly, and so a lot of times he's forced to kind of dump checkers to the ace, to deep points, and those kind of erode his race lead. Even though, you know, as far as the raw pips goes, he's got a healthy lead. Effectively, when you're dumping checkers deep into your inner board, when you get to the bear off, those do not bear off efficiently. Those hurt those erode your effective racing lead. And 6-4 is a pretty good roll for Marty because you know, this keeps the race within reach. Marty's trying to figure out exactly where he wants to put his checkers. He can slot the ace and try to make a board, but he sees that you know, Albert might be leaving a shot on the next roll. He doesn't need to have his ace point slotted, so he gets 2 crossovers into his inner board, and now 3-2 for Albert. He's got to double 6 for Marty. He only can play one of them, and now both players, whoever rolls a 6 first, is going to have to leave a direct shot for the other player. But Albert's crunched. He's still got a 4 point board. So if Albert hits, it's a still pretty good board to maybe bring his position home. So 6-3 will hit, and then he's going to lift with the 3. And Marty's got 4 returns from the bar. Let's see if he gets one. No, double 4. That would have been a great roll last time, but he gets it now. It's a little 1 roll too late. So 4-1. Albert safeties one of his checkers. He leaves just 1 shot, a double 6, which would be a pretty good roll for Marty anyway. He can leave 0 shots if he wanted to. He can actually just leave 0, but I agree with leaving this. This gets him a little bit closer. It's a crossover. It gets him closer to home, and the race is not gin. Marty's off the bar 6-3, so Albert's got to play safe, and you know, Albert's a huge favorite, obviously. He's ready to bear off, and he's got a speed board, and Marty's still got 2 checkers to bring home, but Marty's not completely dead. If he rolls a set, he can get back into this race. But it doesn't seem to be happening. Albert rolled a set that looks like, and Albert's got 6 checkers off, and Marty's only got 1, I think. So looks like Albert's going to tie the score up. Marty tries to scare him with a double 5, but it's just not going to be enough, and now it is Jin, and 4-4. Wow, 4-4. So I think we are being treated to a pretty close match. A lot of backgammon to go. This is just the first in the best of 5 9-point matches. Winner will be crowned champion for the 2016-2017 season of the New England Backgammon Club. $6-4 for Marty. He splits, and Albert hits back. $6-4 for Albert. He's bringing 2 down. He can also make the deuce point. Maybe he wanted to hit here. I might have hit, but he aims for a priming structure. But Marty makes an advanced anchor, and now a 6-3. 6-3 for Albert. He can make his 3-point, but maybe he wants to get his backman moving in some fashion. Oh, he gets his back moving. He makes a run for the outfield. He runs all the way. There were a few. He could have also split. There were a few splitting plays he could have made and just moved his. Oh, anyway, 5-3 for Marty is really good. He hits both checkers, and now 2-6, and Albert's only able to come in 1. And maybe Marty's got a decision here because he's partially escaped his backmen. He's got 11 men in the zone. Albert's got 3 men back. Neither player has a board. I think this is a pretty easy take. I'm not sure. I guess it's a double. I mean, it looks like, there's a lot of things can go really good for Marty. 4-3. He makes his 5-point, and double twos. Double twos is a great answer by Albert. He's going to be able to come in and probably point on Marty's head. And then think about the last one. Actually, he's thinking about the last 2 because he could advance his anchor. He could advance to the 21-point, but I think the priority here is making the interboard point. Marty's up on the roof, and he's got 3 other blots laying around the board. So, and Marty fans, and the tables have turned right away. It's Albert now who's got a cube decision. He's got 3 checkers back. He's shooting at Marty with 6s and 4s, and also 7s and 8s. So there's a ton of numbers that hit twice. But it's a basically 5 away score. So if Albert turns the cube to 4, he's going to be kind of killing his gammons. It's a gammon. The gammons aren't going to become valuable, and so so if really the gammons aren't really scary here. This, for the most part, this is going to come down to winning chances. And what is Marty's winning chances? I think because Albert's got 3 men back, and even though he's shooting at all these blots, Marty's going to be able to maybe establish an anchor a lot of times. He doesn't always get hit. I think Marty might have a take here. I'm not sure. Let's see. So in a 5-point match, the 4 cube. So even though Albert's killing his gammons, Marty's not going to have cube leverage, right? So, in kind of a normal match score, you get cube leverage when you take a cube. But here, the cube is kind of dead for both players. So to the extent that it kills Albert's gammons, it's also kind of killing Marty's cube leverage. But it just comes down to winning chances. And Marty's got a ton of winning chances here. I do agree with the take. So 3-1. Albert can hit or he can make the 5 point. So he's got to make a choice. He goes for the hit. He's trying to keep Marty off balance. Marty comes in with 2, 5-1. So Marty's off the bar, but Albert's still got a lot of, 6-1. 6-1 hits twice. I think where 6-1 hits twice, but where? Because he can knock Marty off the 5 point. That's the point that Albert wants to kind of keep Marty from making, and that's what he does. He knocks Marty off the 5 point. Marty does not hit back. So double fours. Double fours is gonna make his a perfect 4-point board, and then he's gonna have one more. He can either get another builder for the next point, or for knocking Marty off the ace with 8-4, or he can get another man in the zone with 13-9. Albert elects to get another builder. Marty fans, and now it's double 5, I believe. Double 5. So Albert can actually hit loose if he wanted, but maybe he just wants to try and escape because. Oh, well, here's a play. Look at this play. He can partially escape and deny Marty the chance to anchor up on that ace point. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of times a play like that can be right because Marty's got 3 up on the roof. What's he gonna do? It's just so hard for him to do anything. The way Marty wins a game like this is by anchoring somewhere and hitting a shot later. So maybe 6-1 twice was right, but the thing is that if Marty anchors on the 6 point, it's just so much easier for him to win from there than it is from. Well, actually, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, game goes on 5-2. So Albert's trying to hit the 4th checker. He's trying to send a 4th checker back, but this roll isn't going to be able to do it. In fact, this is not the kind of number Albert was hoping for. He wanted to, either hit that strangler or knock Marty off the 2 point. So, but Albert's not really able to hit with this number. So Marty's going to have a chance to anchor up. He desperately needs to anchor. He does not anchor, and now 3-2. So okay, Albert is able to hit, and but again, Marty's going to have a chance to anchor up. It's just he's got 3 men on the roof. Marty just needs to anchor to basically save the gammon. Gammon will end the match. Marty fans. Albert rolls a 6, so he hits with the 6. Comes down with the 5, so Marty needs a deuce desperately. He doesn't get it, and Albert's got a ton of covers now. He gets one of them, 4-1, so he's closed Marty out. 4 men up on the roof. So if he can bring this home safely, he'll probably cruise to an easy gammon. Just a matter of bringing home safely. Marty's got 4 up on the roof, so he can wait. He can hold out for a shot for quite a while. Albert's preparing for that possibility by positioning his checkers. He wants to clear the 6 point, and he's got a ton of builders on his high point. So Albert's got a very safe position. He wants Marty to kind of come in, I guess. 2-1. He can clear the 5. He can clear the 5 in a safe position. I don't think he needs to worry at all about increasing gammon chances. If he comes home safe, he's just going to win a gammon. So he just wants to play safe. So 6-4. He's staying even in double 6. Marty's in. That's a great way to come in as far as racing up the gammon. But still, even with a huge number like that, it's just too much work. Marty's probably not going to make it. 3-2. Yeah, Albert's going to win this match. So Marty jumped out really quick to a 4-0 lead, and then now Albert's going to have rattled off 9 in a row. So Albert wins match number 1. He takes a 1-0 lead. The format here is best of 5 9-point matches. Albert's up. Albert is up 1-0. Wins the first match, so they're going to reset. They're going to start playing again. I'm going to take a short break and then be right back.